I think this book tour Howard Stern has gone on has done nothing but affect him negatively and sort of ruin his reputation. Not even amongst his fans, but amongst people who just stopped listening to him. So, as you know, I posted the audio that Stuttering John leaked of Howard Stern on stage telling his staff to create fake Twitter accounts to get celebrity guest interviews. How sad and pathetic is that? I mean, honestly. So part of his book press tour, did an interview with Rolling Stone. I want to read you just a little snippet from this interview. So the interviewer asks Howard, I've gone onto the fan forums in the Howard Stern subreddit. They are packed with supposed superfans who hate the new Howard. They want the show back to the way it used to be with porn stars and strippers. First of all, I didn't even disagree with that question. I don't even think it's a matter of them wanting porn stars or strippers. They probably just want the show to be funny. So Howard responds, I wouldn't go on to Reddit. You read that stuff as a performer, you will be stuck doing your greatest hits. I have a thin skin, so I don't read it. But I know the rap with me. It's like, wow, where's the woman squirting in Gary's face? How come Howard isn't taking rectal temperatures anymore? We're doing some of that, but as a human being, it would be downright fucking creepy if I stayed the same. I'm no longer a 30-year-old man. I've changed. So there is no fucking way I can hold on. First of all, let's just say Michael Jackson was alive. If you went to a Michael Jackson concert, I'm pretty sure he would do the hits. Because, that's the number one complaint. Like, could you imagine if you went and saw Drake or some newer artist or something, and they refused to do their hits? I mean, you'd be like, why am I here? So then continues. I learned something in therapy. You can't have 100% of the audience. I was under the delusion that I could pull that off. Literally. I used to get insulted when I'd see the ratings say, well, 1 out of every 4 cars on Long Island riding into Manhattan, they're listening to you. I'd go, what about the other 3? It's this hungry search for love, attention. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. The guy who says to me, hey man, you suck now. You were only good when Jackie was on the show. I go, well, to you maybe, but I like the show much better now. That's all you can do if you're going to grow and evolve. But I kind of laugh at the whole attitude like, hey man, he changed. Thank God I fucking changed. Whoa. You can change, dude, but that doesn't mean you have to be lame. Like, you changed, right? So, you're against free speech, and so, we should all just change, I guess. Ew. It's the same with musicians. People never want them to change, but then complain if they stay the same. You can't please people. That's what the interviewer said. Now Howard says, oh no, you cannot. The great thing about having a radio show back in the 80s, 90s, there was no internet. I was the keeper at the gate. If you wanted to criticize me, you had to get on the phone with me, and I controlled that conversation. Now with social media, holy shit, it's much fun to be a radio guy. Everybody now has an opinion and gets heard. So, I mean, that position, it goes back to the, him hating podcasting thing. You know how, remember the Joe Rogan video I did when Howard said he had an issue with him? He's so jealous of Rogan. So the interviewer asked him, so you don't care that there's a certain segment of the old audience who feel betrayed by the show now? Look, betrayal is a strong word. I'm an entertainer, and I'm going to do what I think is most entertaining. There are people who want to hear your greatest hits. Some people are really pissed if they see Bruce and he doesn't play Thunder Road. They gotta hear that. I'm not interested in doing my greatest hits. As far as I'm concerned, this is a whole new radio show. I'm a snake who sheds many skins. I don't want to ever be stuck walking into this radio station and reading Reddit and go, yeah, you know what I gotta do? I gotta fling baloney at a girl's ass and see if it sticks. Alright, even if I was to grant you your little dumb point there about not doing your greatest hits, which I don't, but let's grant that to him. Bruce Springsteen, there's a difference between him not doing his greatest hits and him going back and editing his greatest hits. You see what I'm saying? Like, if Bruce Springsteen doesn't want to sing Thunder Road at a concert, whatever. But I doubt he's going back and editing half the song of Thunder Road and making it into a new song. Doing stuff like that made you very popular. That was really right for the times. I was curious about porn stars. I was curious about pissing off Pat Robertson or whoever might be listening and raising money to get me off the air. I'm on a medium now. There's no pissing off Pat Robertson or religious groups. This is a paid medium. They don't give a fuck. What is it I need to do as a performer to keep this interesting and relevant? My audience is very different. 40% women listen to my show. People would be shocked by that. So to the guy who wants me to do the same thing over and over again, hey, I understand you, but I'm not your guy. If I was, I probably would have had a 5-year career. My God. First and foremost, he kind of just, once again, like this whole press tour, he like keeps exposing himself. So he kind of just admitted, it's not that SiriusXM doesn't tell anyone the numbers. He knows the numbers, and he refuses to have those numbers out. Because how else would he know 40% of his audience is women? And first of all, you've got 40% of a non-existent audience happens to be women. Legitimately, I swear to God, probably 40,000 people who listen to you, 16,000 of them are women. Congratulations. You handed in millions of people listening to you to very few people listening to you, but 40% of them are women. I can't hate because SiriusXM, they're the dummies. Keep paying the dude, but my God. 40% women. Did you ever miss talking to porn stars, though? Those were interesting interviews. No, I don't. Whenever I feel the desire, I'll talk to a porn star, but it's kind of the same story over and over. There's a lot of sadness in being a porn star. When I would have a lot of porn stars on, I thought, well, hey man, this is something we all do. We all watch porn. Whatever about your porn star thing, but so he basically said he's a snake who sheds his skin and blah 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 blah. Dude, you're old, you're irrelevant, nobody cares, and it just got leaked that you told your staff to make fake Twitter accounts because you know you're fucking irrelevant. You stink. By the way, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. As O&A fans, we've always known this about Stern. The second O&A revealed behind the scenes he was doing gag orders against them. And, by the way, blocking guests. You have to remember, when that audio that Stuttering John got of him and telling his staff that was from when Opie and Anthony were still a show. And I guarantee you, I've always believed this from 2013 and 14, maybe even 2012, maybe even right after Artie left, before Anthony Cumia got fired, I guarantee you more people listened to Opie and Anthony than Howard Stern on SiriusXM. I guarantee you. Because you could hear that desperation in his voice on that leaked clip. He's like, they've forgotten about us. And it pisses me off, yeah. And that's why he had to have by the way, that wasn't the XM policy of not release the ratings numbers. O&A and everyone who worked at XM knew their numbers. That was a serious policy because, God forbid, could you imagine if O&A could look in 2013, could have looked at their ratings, and let's not even say they were beating Stern, or even had the same amount of viewers as Stern. Let's say they had 10,000 less people listening to them than Stern in 2013. They were making $3 million each. Stern was making $100 million. You don't think they would be able to walk into Sirius and go, "Hey, He's only beating us by 5,000 viewers or listeners. We kind of want $50 million. So, if you still listen to Howard Stern, I don't know what you're doing, but he's a lame and a fraud.